Con 2121. Recently hit 4K and mainly play offlane, but occasionally position 4, position 5 as well. I mean, who does not pick Lich for free wins these days? My Dota buff is below. I think it's only worth looking into regular rank games, as I tend to not to pick my core heroes or take international rank too seriously. This game was a particularly sad one. It felt doomed from the beginning with a random first pick OD who ended up laning versus Clinks and some toxicity in general. I was the Abaddon. Still, there should be room for improvements, so I'm alias. Okay. Let's go. We're playing Abaddon. I think Abaddon is going offlane. Looks like Abaddon offlane. LC is going to be your saving carry. Hoodie is going to middle. Crystal mid is supporting. 8 Kumba supporting. Jungling is sometime. Clint's middle. Clint is middle. Next assassin is... I think this guy is offlane. Judging from his item build. He's gonna get promotion right away. And look at his fucking HP vision. Next assassin is offlane. Lifestealer is bottom safe. Silencer is going to be their support. It's also going to be support with the Venom mode. Okay. I like your first item. I agree with your first item. I like the blood. And you were saving your skill point, that is also good. So as soon as you ran into him, you use the passive. You should really check his item. He's hitting kind of hard. I would have clicked on Lifestealer and checked his item just to see how many tango he has, how many healing salve he has, his item build, things like that. But I don't think you position correctly. So when you're engaging here, this made sense. But 3, 2, 1, and look at your position. You're just interested in hitting Lifestealer. So and then he hit you again. So that was a bad engagement. He ended up doing more damage than you did. And number one, you should have definitely clicked on Lifestealer. If this guy had only one tango, let's say Lifestealer was being a little bit greedy. I want to talk about this. Let's say Lifestealer was being a little greedy, and this guy's first item build was 1 tango, 2 sleepers of agility to get the formation right away from the shop, and the Quelling Blade. That is what sometimes players do. Players get Quelling Blade, 2 agility sleepers, and just only 1 set of tango. In that case, if I were you, I would definitely check that. And if I did, seeing that this guy does not have a healing salve and a Quelling Blade, I would have done the same thing. I would have taken this skill and then start to trade my HP the shit out of him. That way you're being kind of beneficial as offlane, but you didn't do it. You didn't even check his item, and you were not positioning correctly when you were collecting the bounty run. So I don't think you were checking the timer, but all these small things is going to impact your game. So I think you can do it a lot better by simply analyzing your replay like this way. So he ended up doing a lot of damage to you, and you guys have the same amount of regen. You have 1 set of tango, healing self, and this guy also has the same. Wow. And Lifestealer naturally has better lane sustainability than you have. So I don't think you trading your HP like that was not worth it. What this does is now I think you might regret taking this, because if you look at their lineup, even before engaging into the bounty run, you should have known that it's going to be Lifestealer bottom or Clean's bottom. But it's very likely that Silencer might be here. Okay, Silencer is here, which can be one of the most annoying supports ever in zoning you out. So in this case, I really need a product shield. If I have product shield, I can do a much better job in just being annoying and try to take last hit and soak up a lot of experience. You can do a much better job by taking this skill. but you now only have a passive, which is kind of useless here because you cannot engage in. They have 2, and it's just solo offing, so it doesn't make sense for you to fight. You missed one last hit. That was bad. Also, if Spiritbreaker were to roam, I think you're gonna die. Okay, I heard something. Ooh, this guy started to run from your tower. I think this guy was hiding under the shrine, and I think you might die because of Venom move. Okay, you didn't die. Good. That was really close. So that was a really good place for Spiritbreaker to cast his charge. I think Spiritbreaker was hiding under the shrine, and then he stunned you. So if they did a better job of blocking you instead of just right clicking, I think you were dead. So if this was a little bit higher bracket, I think the enemy team were then good enough players to block you, and I think highly likely you were dead because you barely survived, and you're now level 1. This is really sad. So I think I was right about when I was telling you about the shield. Yeah, you're gonna get the bounty run here, that's good. But thing is, if you look at your lane, do you see how many creeps are coming to the tower? So you're missing all these, you're missing a lot of farm, a lot of last hit, a lot of experience. So this is extremely bad. Now this guy, knowing that they had sent back Abaddon back to Fountain, they are now doing a lot of damage to the tower. And this is essentially the same thing as getting denied to the creeps. They're doing the tower damage and you lost a lot of experience. So, and now you're tipping back. So this was really bad. This was really bad. You needed level 1 of Power Shield. And another theory, here's a different way of thinking. You also had Crystal Maiden. You also had Crystal Maiden in your team. So if you ever have Crystal Maiden, you're now getting the Arcane Aura. So what this means is I do not have to worry about casting any spells. I see so many players, I play a lot of Crystal Maiden in ranked games. I see so many players not staying at 100% mana when they have Crystal Maiden as their allies, as their support. Because Crystal Maiden, in almost a poke game, she's gonna master the Arcane Aura, very likely. So you're benefiting now a lot. So this is kind of game where you can consider getting the Poetic Shield as your first skill, even at level 1. Because literally you can spam it all day with no problem. Okay, thank you, not die. You're dead. Let's go back. So I don't think you had to cast your... You know what? I think I would have waited. I would have waited to cast a partial a little bit, but this was a hard decision. Yeah. This was a really good gank by Spiritbreaker. You're now really slow because due to Silencer's Q and Lifestealer has a Venom Morph, so I think you might have died regardless. So that was a really good play by them. You didn't. I don't think you did. This was not that easy to anticipate. And if you want to survive in the lane longer, if you want to have better time in surviving, if your supports are not giving you the ward, you should buy it yourself and just place it yourself in the enemy jungle, or just literally anywhere. Now you are trying to come back with jungling. Okay, I get it. So you think that it is now impossible for you to stay here. You're just gonna lose. But if I were you, I would have bought a ward. I would have just bought a ward and place it here or here. That way I can see this guy roaming. It's not gonna be perfect, but at least I see him charging me from the middle here or here. But this makes sense too. I think you're doing great in your decision to just jungle. I think it makes perfect sense. You found it really hard to lane against the Trillium bottom, but this makes sense. Cast it, good. Let's go back to player perspective. Okay, you got the Calling Blade, so this basically tells me that you're gonna stay in the jungle forever. I think your OD is going to die now. Yeah, this guy's dead. Oh my god. That gives me headache. He should have hidden, not himself, but Spiritbreaker when he was warming to him, when he was charging into him, but I think he didn't and he died. Okay. Okay, so you're gonna jungle farm. There's really nothing to watch. You're gonna stay here for a bit, and if you see the lane getting pushed, you're gonna go back to the tower. You're gonna farm, blah blah blah. Reaper is here because he wants to steal the bounty run. Wow, what a fucking play. And what a fucking play by Odie. Odie was kind of late in hiding him. So, well, yeah, he died, but I think Spiritbreaker is now feeling good because he just stole his bounty run. Okay. You shouldn't miss last set. Don't miss it. Don't miss last set. Okay. Good. Good. You should have attacked them. So you're farming. This was good, but last set you saw Silencer, right? Tell me, what were you afraid of in engaging him? It's essentially under the tower. Silencer is literally diving into you under the tower, and you even have creep waves. Range creep is already starting to attack him, and you even have 2 melee creeps. And look at, I think you're really strong. You have 4 man shield. There is no way for him to kill you, and you decided to run away. So this might be a small thing, you not engaging the Silencer, but I think this was big. There was no reason for you to not fight him when he was diving into you like that. I don't understand why you didn't fight him. You should have definitely gotten closer to him and right click him a few times, and if you think you're in danger, then you can cast a pot shield, and then you can go back and hug your tower. But you didn't do that. You just let him go. And for people wondering, when Silencer casts his Q, I forgot the name of it, Arcane Curse, Abaddon cannot dispel it with his shield. He just can't. That's the mechanism. Okay, so you're back to farming. I think I might be demanding too much of you if I were to tell you that you should carry TP, since they have Spiritbreaker who is going to roam endlessly, and Abaddon sitting behind or carrying 1 TP makes sense. It makes sense, but you're not a support. You're an offlaner who's kind of farming dependent, at least who's farming does matter if you're playing offlane core. But carrying 1 TP makes sense to me, especially when you think your carries are not really that great. Abaddon is really good at counter initiating. By just TPing at the right time and casting the shield and casting the mist coil, you can do a lot. I think you can do a lot. And in this game, you should realize that no matter how much farm you get, no matter how well you do in the offlane, it will be hard for you to win this game event. What the fuck is he doing? It will be really hard for you to eventually win this game if your allies are fucked by the Spiritbreakers forming. So I would have definitely carried TP. Even right here, you TP to bottom. But if you were paying attention to the minimap, they were diving. They were diving, and I'm not saying that you should have TP'd this. It will take time. Yeah, I should have go back a little bit to analyze if this will work. But from perspective of you, if I were you, you should have at least click on the minimap and see what was going on. Those are the things literally just expected of you as a Dota 2 player. You should do that. No matter what position you're playing, even though you're playing carry offlane, you should do this. You should have definitely done this. And if you think, this guy's dead now, but if you think, if had you TP at the right time, you could have saved Legion Commander, then you should have TP. But judging from your gameplay, I was looking at the player perspective, you didn't even care. I think now you have look on the screen. Now you checked it. So you checked it. You even checked yourself. Or you didn't. I'm sorry, I was clicking on someone else. Okay. So you're looking at this guy doing the black hole, and you didn't even click on the minimap. You just TP to bottom when that was happening. When they were diving in, you didn't even look, you just TP to bottom. So this was a bad decision. This time, I think it was big. This was a really big time for you to TP in. Now that the enemy team is getting a lot of kills, this might be the end. This might be the beginning of the end, because they are going to snowball. Silencer is now stealing a lot of int from your allies, and Nyx Assassin is getting big, Spiritbreaker is getting big, Legion Commander is level 6. This guy's fucked, man. This guy's now getting fucked. So I think your team really needed you to TP to top, and you didn't even bother to TP, so that was really bad. You need to work with your team. No matter how toxic they are, just mute them and you need to TP. Okay, now you're farming, but really in this game I don't see you carrying solo by having a lot of farm. It's always good. Abaddon with a lot of farm is really strong. Some people even go for slashers build and they get radiance. That's really strong. But even though you get radiance this game, I don't see you solo carrying this game. You're not gonna win by solo. You should never miss last like that. You miss easy lost it. That should never happen. You should focus more. And again, you decided to go for the one right click instead of last hitting. That was also bad. Take this really hard on you. Missing last hit like that is going to affect your game, and that makes zero sense to me. That you're deciding to. So you're now again letting him to deny. So you're going for the right clicking once lifestealer. What are you doing by right clicking? Let me go back and tell you. This happened twice. You're farming here. You could have gotten the last hit right here, right? But instead, you right clicked him. He denied it, and this happened twice, right? It already happened before. So I don't understand why you're doing this. I don't understand why you were doing this. So I think you will become a better player by just making a small change to your mental note. Farming is much better than right clicking lifestealer. Right, harassing him a little bit makes sense if there was someone else sitting behind you, ready to gank. Then right clicking him down makes sense. You want this guy to be as low as possible. But now you're not, you're just farming. The one in your team is rotating, but there is no reason for you to not to prioritize over in last setting and denying your creeps, but you're not doing that. You only have one deny. You even have a quality bait. I think you should contest much harder in denying the creeps and taking the last hit. Even with the pot shield, what I like to do is so you're doing this, you keep casting the shield to yourself, but what I like to do is cast it to the creeps. That's what I really love to do. So even now, instead of casting, you just cast the shield to yourself. Why not just use your phase burst to get closer to the creeps and cast your shield to the creeps? It makes this guy really annoying to last hit. And if you succeed in missing his last hit, you're gonna hurt him economically. If you think that really doesn't do anything, you're wrong. It really does something, and you should do it. You should definitely start doing it. And like I said, there's a Crystal Maiden supporting you with the Arcane Aura. He's pumping a lot of mana. You shouldn't. Well, you're not low in mana, but at least you're gonna get a, you have a really good regen. So spamming this makes sense. You're doing things right, but the only downside is you're casting it to yourself and not to the creeps. So start casting this to your creeps to make the enemy team, make the enemy carry player. Just give him hard time to lost it. That is your job as an offlaner. And this is perfect time. This is a really good time to win the lane by doing the right things, because Silencer and Nyx Assassin is top. We don't know where this guy is, but we know that this guy is alone. And because you just now hit level 6, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna die that easily, even though this guy makes some Spiritbreaker makes some rotation. So this is really perfect time for you to make this guy the miserable time to lost it. But I don't think you're doing it. You're just, again, the same thing. You're just interested in right clicking. You could have denied, you could have taken lost it, but you just don't care. He's now denying. So this guy's doing the right thing. Lifestealer doesn't really care about right clicking you, but this guy is doing much better. He has 22 denies, and he's taking small by small. He's going by step. He's taking advantage. He's getting a lot of advantage over you economically. Yeah, it's not even that easy to kill you. is 12-3. So now that the enemy team now has enough confidence to fight you guys, because they have all your advantage, it's 12-3. My prediction is they will invade into your jungle literally every time, and they're gonna end up killing Legion Commander. They're gonna kill the Enigma every time they see anyone. Cling towards middle. You should right click the tower, not him. Again, you're just so interested in killing him, which you should know that you can't kill him. You should have definitely right clicked. This was really bad mistake. So, okay, you did this. What I've done is cast my Apodic Shield, not to yourself. You're casting it to yourself, but you should have cast it to your creeps. You should have cast it to creeps that were getting attacked by the tower. But you didn't. After this, if you were ever able, if you ever run into the same situation like this, where you have a siege tower, or what is it, siege creeps? Is it the catapult? You should ditch him. Just let him do whatever he wants to do, but right click the tower. You have 3 levels of Curse of Avernus. It gives a lot of attack speed. It gives a lot of attack speed bonus. It gives 30 attack speed bonus. You should have at least right click the tower once, just at least once, but you didn't. Catapult is doing a lot of damage to the tower. If you haven't noticed, this is doing a lot of damage. And instead you're just following him, kind of following him, and now you're back and right clicking just once and you're gonna get back. And you ended up doing very little tower damage. And one more thing. This is stupid of Lifestealer. So this is another thing that I didn't understand of your gameplay. You're doing this, okay. You made some bad mistake, that's fine. But when you realized that Enigma was coming, you pinged him, so you wanted him to go in, and he blinked in. So this is your mistake. Let me make a guess. I'm pretty sure that you were not expecting this guy to use Blink Dagger. Is that what happened? Am I right? You didn't know this guy, your ally, had Blink Dagger. This happened because you don't care. You don't care about the enemy, but you also didn't care about your allies. Whenever you see someone, allies or enemies, you should just click on the hero. If you had known that this guy has Blink Dagger, I'm pretty sure that you had positioned yourself much deeper, and you were already had been diving into the tower to do some damage. So when I look at this, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Your position is so bad. Now this guy has a chance to he might live, but Stellaire was a little stupid enough to engage in. So that was your mistake. You should check your allies at him and expect what to happen. It should be going through your mind every time. If you're not doing anything, check your allies at him. Blink Dagger. Because I was only looking at your perspective when I was just looking in this game, I had to go back because I didn't know that he had a Blink Dagger because you didn't click on him. I was looking at the same perspective as you were playing this game, and I didn't know. I didn't know that Enigma had Blink Dagger. So I totally understood your position. I didn't know he had a Blink Dagger. I thought you were pinging him, so you two might walk in at the same time, but all of a sudden, Enigma just disappeared from nowhere and he cast a black hole. So I was like, what the fuck happened, right? And then I went back and then I knew that this got a Blink Dagger. And this happened because you didn't know what your allies, you didn't pay attention to the allies' item progression. So that was another mistake. And all these small things is going to affect your game in the future. This will affect your game. If, let's say, Lifestealer had survived from 1 TP back up from the enemy side, then you guys are fucked. Then this Enigma might have ended up wasting his black hole and Lifestealer killed him, and then possible you might even die by diving in the tower, and that is the worst thing that can happen. Then that is the game. You are the reason why your team lost the game. So that can happen. Everything can happen, right? So start paying attention, and I want you to check everyone's item in the game. You don't have to do it like every minute, but if you see someone, you should have a habit of just clicking on him. Click the hero, check his item build, and just anticipate what is going to happen. Good job. You're going for your. You're going for the Vladimir, right? Okay. Good. Okay. Do you see how things are going top? And yeah, some things are going top, right? Okay. So let me stop right here for a moment. I get it, the score is 16-4, but here's a thing that you can be optimistic about something. If I were you, if I were to see this game, and if every one of you are agreeing with just everyone else that, you know, Radiant is winning because the score is 16-4, but that really isn't true. The advantage that you guys have in this game at this moment right now is you just push the tower, you just destroyed the enemy's safe lane tower, that is really big, and somehow I do not see the enemy middle tower. Is this bug or something? No, it's not. You guys pushed the middle tower somehow. I don't know how, because you never checked the other lanes, but your team already pushed the middle lane, so this is big. The advantage of surviving every tier 1 tower in your team, and you already pushed middle tower and safe lane tower. This is huge, guys. This is really huge. So I want you to tell you that everyone watching this video, even though the score is 16-4 and it looks really bad, having tower advantage is huge. This is really big. So if I were playing this game, I will not be tilted. I will not have been tilted by all means. I think you're winning. In terms of objective, you're winning, and you can start flipping by just winning one big team fight. So if I were you, what would have been going through my mind is I should always carry TP. I get it that you have a calling blade you want to farm, but I would always carry TP, be at 100% HP and a little over 80% mana, because you have to TP. Now is the perfect time. You can flip the game by backing up your allies by TPing at the right time. So I'm going to use all of my energy at farming and paying attention to TP at the right time. So that's what I would have done, and that's how I translate Dota at this time in this game. Let's see if you carry TP. You should not have let these two die that easily at the top. You need to carry TP. It's gonna die again. So this is where do you see how like he's getting charged and the enemy is in your jungle? The enemy is able to play aggressive because they have an aggressive wards. You should really start to suspect that the enemy team has a ward. Most likely, I think they have it. They have it here. I would have suspected here. I would have suspected here. I would have suspected here. The enemy team has some aggressive ward. They can't kill you, don't worry about it. I would have fought them. I would have definitely fought them. Okay, informing, good. Maiden is gonna die again. You should be with your team. Okay, so knowing that it's going to be too late by the time you go there, you just have to push. That's another thing that I want to talk about. Very good job. Good. So this was good. I think Spirit Breaker kind of overextended and you were a little too far away from joining your allies. So you were thinking about going there by using Face Boost, but you got it right away that by the time you get there everything's over. So you decided to stay here and farm. So that was good. I think your farming ability is really, really great. Just in general. You do know how to farm. And next time kill the large creep first, because it's giving the HP regen aura. I cannot save them. Oof, Clinches are so fat now. Yeah, you should get out. I agree with you. You should get out. No, you should get out. You should get out. You're gonna die from the clinch. Ooh, they found someone. Black hole. Okay. Okay. So. And all of a sudden you are fighting I really thought Spirit Breaker was going to charge on you, and I really suspected that Clint was sitting about around here, and he's going to attack on you. But Clint was a really smart player. Clint knew that Abaddon has a ward, and he decided to go for the easy target, which is Enigma. This is your reaction in this team fight. You saw him charging to someone else, right? This means he's charging to someone else. He's not charging to creeps. He's charging to your ally. You don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh, and I know you realize he's already this far. It's already this far. You have a face boots. You popped it. And you decided to go for the silencer. This was bad. This decision was bad. And you're just right clicking down. You don't care about them. Going for the silencer. Silencer is only one support, right? Silencer is, I get it that this guy is easy kill and you would eventually kill him, I agree with you, but what you should have done is Clinks is the problem here, right? Clinks is the guy who's been killing every one of your ally entire time. Is minute 17 and they have 19 kills, and Clinks is really fat. If you were to flip this game, you should kill Clinks. You should get the Clinks and get the Karma run gold. But you didn't do it. You didn't care about it. You just went for the silencer, who's also only one support, and then you let your ally die. You can save your allies by casting Aquatic Shield, Base Coil, Altars level 1. You can save them. So I don't understand your decision. This was a really bad decision not to go in. You even had face boots. You can move really fast. If you didn't attack him, I bet you could have arrived here and then give a Aquatic Shield to Enigma to just survive him a little bit longer, and then kill this guy from the shield damage, and then kill Clinks. That way you would have win this big team fight, giving OD a lot of farm. OD can come back by killing these two, and Enigma might have survived. It's not likely that he might have survived because Clinks is technically really strong, but this was wrong. I can tell that this was wrong. I do not agree with this decision. Yeah, you could have definitely killed Clinks right there. You killed Silencer, and now you're okay, time to kill Clinks. Shadow Walk, Skeleton Walk, whatever. So, this was bad decision by you. You should glyph. Good glyph. I got to farming. But thing is, you already missed the chance to flip the game. I think this fight was big fight that could have brought a lot of impact to your allies. Getting the Vladimir is great. Well, Vladimir, you know what? Vladimir is always great, but I don't know. I don't think it really does anything. Okay, so you didn't react to it, right? You did not react to it. I think they were just a little too strong enough. It was dead anyways, but you should react to it. Okay, I think you're gonna die now, because none of your allies, even though they TP, they were not strong enough to care about you, so this was fine. Enigma had no black hole, and there was no way for them to save you, so that was fine. I think the enemy team did great job in roaming, and they deserve to kill everyone. If you were to play really smart, I think at the same time when you saw this guy was getting ganked from them, you should have ditched him right away, knowing that you cannot save him, and just get back. But well, I don't blame you for that death. The enemy team is now doing really great. Let's see if okay, you got smoke for putting down a ward. Oh, for the gank. So this guy has a blink now. Yeah, he has a blink. So that was I really like the smoke. I think you know how to play. I really think you know how to play the game. You bought the smoke. You really want to give Legend Commander extra damage by dueling. Okay, you're good. Why did you shield yourself? I don't understand. Okay. Okay. Okay, he's being stupid. Let me go back. I have to go back. So, first thing that I'm going to tell you. So when you had spot someone, so I think you're the one paying in the middle to go, oh, we found some, let's go middle, right? This smoke was amazing. And it could have flipped the game if you guys made it successful. Amazing, but when you had found someone like this, when you were about to go in, first of all, I would have casted the Park Shield to Legend Commander right now. I would have given this Park Shield right now, and what I would anticipate happening is, by the time this guy gets over here, you would have another Park Shield. The cooldown is only 12 seconds, so by the time you get here, the cooldown might be around 5 seconds, 6 seconds. So you're gonna be able to cast the Park Shield right away, but you didn't. You just walked in. That was number one mistake. So do it from the next time. If you're ganking with the Legend Commander, just shield him right away from the distance, anticipating that giving him shield, by the time you guys arrive, by the time you guys engage, you will have another Park Shield to cast. That's what I want you to do. That was the first thing. And second thing is coming. So your smoke broke down. So this is time to engage in. A little bit late, but he blinked in. I don't understand why you did self a Park Shield here. I don't understand. This was wrong. So you not casting the Park Shield when you guys were smoked here, this is a really high level play. If you guys are wondering, I'm actually demanding him a little too much, but casting him a Park Shield like that will happen little over 5k. Even 5k players will not do it. I don't think they will do it every time. So I was demanding him a little too much, but you casting shield like this in this way, this doesn't make sense, right? He's gonna die now. I'll say he's going to die now. Had you cast the Park Shield, this guy would have been alive, and he killed a Spirit Breaker, and then he got the extra damage. But now the duel is over. He didn't get any damage, and you're now panicking. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Why did he die? You killing cleans right there was great, but again, you couldn't save OD. You didn't even make any efforts to save OD. I didn't understand that part. I really didn't. I didn't understand why you just let him die like that. Again, you just casted the Park Shield to yourself. You just did it. You literally just cast it right away to yourself when you had your ulti. So the enemy team cannot focus on you. Casting a Park Shield to yourself makes sense if your ulti is on cooldown. If you fear death of yourself, then it is the right time to cast this. But there's OD. Why don't you save it? This is meant to save your teammates most of the time. But I really don't think I ever saw at least once you saving anyone in your team. I don't think you did it even once. So you should really be friendly to your teammates and focused on saving them. You're playing defensive and offensive at the same time, because when this pops off, it does damage. So I really think you should have casted a Park Shield to OD here. If you did, OD did not die, and by the time Clinch got this much HP, he died from the shield's damage. It's really good nuke. It does 200 damage, right? So OD might have lived with little over 50% HP. Clinch was dead, and Nyx cannot kill him. Right? And even here, you didn't mist coil. I understand this was on cooldown, but you didn't even bother to save him. So I'm not saying that you could have saved him by casting the mist coil, but you're not even making any efforts in saving your allies. So this is the mindset that you can change around to impact your game. I really don't like your decision making in big team fights. Okay, and you're like, okay, 1 versus 1, let's go duel. I'm the Legend Commander. Okay, this guy down here, what is he doing though? Why did he? He's gonna die, right? And even now, Even now. Okay, you killed him, but you just cast a shield to yourself again. You just did it again. You just did it again for no reason that I cannot think of. If you had casted the shield to your ally, to Crystal Maiden, she lived! She lived and this guy was dead, right? And you didn't do it. So I don't understand what you're doing here. I really don't. So it's minute 20 and you did great job in farming. I think you did great job in farming. Like just like sticking in the off lane, transitioning to the jungle, getting the Quelling Blade, but that was great. But you're not making good decisions in helping your teammates by TPing. But I don't think you did ever once TP back up to your teammates, and you didn't make good decision in team fighting. That could have seriously turned around every team fight. And now the gap is really big. 29-10. Okay, let me go back. I'm sorry. Just let me go back. Okay. Attacking. Even now, see? When this guy was about to die, your positioning is okay. But if I were you, right now, at this moment, if I were you, I would not be worried about killing this guy. I would not be worried about killing this guy, but I would be worried about my OD. I would have definitely casted a pot shield and mist coil to him right away, right now. But if you look at your perspective, you don't care about him. He disappeared from your side, so you can't see what's going on to OD. You cannot check his HP. Well, you can check the H bar here, but I don't think you genuinely don't care about your teammates, and you're carried about attacking him, and you just casted a mist coil to kill him. OD is not gonna die. So you should prioritize on saving your allies with using your mist coil and a pot shield, not nuking the enemy or not casting into yourself. I don't think you're doing your job enough as expected as an Abaddon. Now they're gonna push the tier 1 tower, so you guys just lost advantage. The enemy team already managed to push out all the tier 1 tower. So when I mentioned that things looked kind of bright 10 minutes ago, you guys lost all the advantage and now you guys are in huge disadvantage. You don't have anything. It's 31-1 and you have nothing. You're not ahead of the objective, you're not ahead of the kills, you're not ahead of the farm. They have 9k gold advantage and your future looks really, it doesn't look bright. I don't think you're gonna win this game. No matter how much farm you have, I don't think you're gonna win this game. Even now. So see, so I'm not saying that you deserve to lose, you deserve to be criticized, but you should be cared about your allies' position. Your right clicking is really good, you're doing the good job in right clicking, but you don't care about your allies. When I see your replay, you just don't care. Good. You have 2.2k gold. I would suggest getting Blink Dagger. That would be my item. Why? Because you really have to save your allies. If you have Blink Dagger, no matter how far away from your ally, you can position yourself much better and cast the shield and mist coil at the same at really good time. So I would have gotten the Blink Dagger. I don't really think there is anything else that you can get. Maybe you can get the Solar Crest, but I don't think Solar Crest is going to save your teammates. You need to position yourself much better, and you need Blink Dagger. So I would have gotten Blink Dagger. So always consider Blink Dagger as your core item when you're playing Abaddon. So this is exactly the time when your Blink Dagger works. If you have Blink Dagger, you can blink in, cast everything, get a shield and a mist coil, and start right clicking the enemy. That way you're threatening the enemy. If you make some delay, your allies might come near you, and maybe you guys can flip the fight and I've been successful with the Blink Dagger Abaddon, so I really suggest you think of getting Blink Dagger in a situation like this. You really need to save your allies to win. It's not about you. Okay, so now they're gonna push. There's no way for you guys to stop them. I believe you guys should stay in the high ground. They're gonna go for the another objective. I don't think you guys can stop them. Give up the tower. Just give up the outer tower simply and stay in the high ground. But I don't like your position here. You might die if they decide to go in. So well, you sort of somehow opened the team fight. I think that was good. Okay, let's go back. So opening the team fight was okay. I think it was okay. So I think what you were trying to do by staying here was you wanted the enemy team to somehow gamble a little bit and dive under the tier 2 tower. It's not even threatening in perspective of the enemy team. They can dive in no matter what. They're gonna do it. But opening the team fight with your ulti like that, this was great. So you cast ulti now. That is great. This is great. Now your position is bad. They're gonna kill you when your ulti is over. But you're now kind of dependent of your team. But knowing that. Okay, he has black hole now. I thought this guy does not even have black hole. Good. Let's see what happens next. Maiden got silenced, right? Maiden got silenced from Orchid from Kling's. I believe this guy is Orchid. Yeah. So Kling's just casted Orchid. This guy is now silenced, but you casted the Pot Shield to yourself, not the Crystal Maiden. So this is the thing that I don't understand. This is small things that. This is another thing that you should. Realize to yourself that you again made a bad decision. If somebody is silenced, you can easily cast a shield and counter Klings by saving Crystal Maiden. But just make them a little annoying. Crystal Maiden is gonna die eventually, but you could have done much better job in saving Crystal Maiden and give the enemy time harder to kill her. But you didn't do it. You just cast it, put it to yourself. This is like your 10th time of doing it in this game. Now you're running. You gave him the thing, the missed coil, but already Crystal Maiden is very, very low. I bet that if you had a perk shield to Crystal Maiden would have survived with 50% HP, because she would not have taken the bonus damage from the Orchid. This does bonus damage at the end, if you guys are wondering why. So letting her die like that was really bad. This was bad. And now you're rock clicking. But again, I get it that you wanted to kill, but I don't like your position. I really don't like your position. You should know. You're now stunned. Stun you? Dead. This is dead, right? If I were you, knowing that I already had used my ulti, I would have positioned myself much defensively. That's what I would have done. I think that might have caused some difference. You're playing way too offensive. You're playing way too offensive. So here's the thing. As when you're playing Abaddon, I want you to know that you can play offensive, you can position offensive when you have the ultimate. That is the right thing to do. But once you use your ultimate, you should start paying attention to your allies and position yourself defensively. That is what you should do. And just stay behind and cast the Pot Shield and Mist Coil until and see what things go. That's what you should have done. If you do that, I think you will become a better Abaddon player, because you have your ability to farm is beyond the average. So keep that in mind. You're not gonna lose the game. This game's over. From my perspective, you guys cannot flip it. Yeah, Solar Crest is Medallion and Solar Crest is good, but the enemy team is already really farmed. They're really farmed. That's later. Holy shit, they're really farmed. Shadow Blade, but yeah. I don't see you guys flipping this. If you want to flip this, by now you should have Radiance. Then you guys might have a little chance of flipping, but you guys cannot flip this. The game's over. Every encounter from now, you're gonna die. Your entire team is gonna get eradicated. So I think you're kind of letting them to end the game. You're refusing to play with your allies and okay, we're tipping, but you should always do your best until the very end. So I don't want you to give up. Again, you cast a shield to yourself. This was again bad. This was bad. This is always bad. Almost always is bad. You should have cast a shield to Enigma. Or anyone else that was getting focused. Yeah, I think they're now ignoring you and they're just gonna take the objective. And yeah, this is over. It's over. Go do this, but your ulti is now over, you're gonna get stunned. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter, the game was over now. The game's over. I don't understand your teammates blaming OD heavily on this. Yeah, OD played poorly. OD played bad, but it was not his fault. It really wasn't his fault. Every one of you made a lot of mistakes in this game. So it wasn't just due to OD. Every one of you made a mistake, but in this game I will focus on you because you're the one getting coached. So I criticized you a lot, but that is the only way you can get better. So I hope you appreciate it. Okay. GPM lost it. It's not bad, right? This is not bad. Even when you're on the losing side, this doesn't look even bad. You'll do much better when you're winning. Okay. But you contribute a little bit in supporting, so that's good. This is good mindset. I really like. By the way, I really like the smoke. When you smoke with LC, I really liked it. So I think you also have the ability to just have the keen ability to look to the Dota game and determine when it's the right time to smoke to flip the game. So this was amazing smoke gank. I really liked it. Okay, I mean I agree with your skill build. Yeah, this is fine. But whenever you have Crystal Maiden, consider about not getting the passive that much. I would suggest getting 1-1-1 and then maybe get Master the Apodic Shield and try to spam it. That way you can stay in the you can stay in the lane forever. That's what I would have done. I would have definitely considered getting a Mana Resonator from Crystal Maiden and thought about mastering Shield and Mist Coil. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope you will get better after this session. Good luck. Thank you for watching. Bye.